one lonely beastie I be, all by myself without nobody. The sun is beating down on my baseball hat. Beer's getting warm. The beer's getting flat. What's going on, New York Giants fans? I forgot to put the sticker up. How would you know what channel this is if I didn't have a New York Giants, some kind of paraphernalia? Some people get confused. I don't get confused. I get righteous. I even won New York Giants. Oh, it's a day. It's a day that shall live in infamy. It's an interesting season. You have to say that the dichotomy of this team is something that you just don't get. You just don't get. I gotta move this down a little bit, guys. There, I put this camera down a little bit. My hair is on point though. There we go. My hair is on point though. Okay. I can sit back a little bit. Now I can sit back a little bit now. 5-1, man. You can't sneeze at that. You really can't. But you know, it's one of those things you need to enjoy because you never know what's lurking around. Mike Lee's in his house. You don't really know what's lurking around the corner. You have no idea what turf monster is there. You don't know. But you enjoy the moments. And that's what you need to do with this team right now. You enjoy the moments because they're a good story. They're a great story. They're probably one of the best stories that the NFL has seen in the last 5 years. What's up, T-Brad? T-Brad's in his house. Make sure you hit the like button like T-Brad says when you come into the chat. Hit the like. But it's one of those things that, like I said, it could vanish in a heartbeat. And you have to remember that. And you have to remember, I spoke in my video today about adversity. How the Giants have yet to truly face adversity. And you know some young pup is got to try to challenge me and say something. Because they're fucking stupid. And they're like, what, being down by 10 is not adversity? No, that's not. That's being down by 10 in a game. That's not adversity. Losing your starting running back, it would be adversity. Having a 2-game losing streak where you have turnovers would be adversity. Dropping a couple games in a row is adversity. Being down by 10 is just that, is being down by 10. We got Johnny. What's up, Mr. What's up, Mr. Belford? Oh, we got Steady saying winning cures all ills. You know, it like I said, that's not adversity. And the Giants have yet to face adversity. And I love it because even Brian Dable, when asked about adversity in the game, he was like, what adversity? Because he understands. He gets it. He gets it. The coaching staff gets it. The general manager gets it. The team gets it. Some idiots don't. And they never will because they don't know how to actually be fans. And I'm just saying it honestly, and I'm saying it like it is. We got Mr. Belford saying,
I'm Johnny Wishbone, psychic extraordinaire. If you need me, just think Johnny Wishbone, and I come running. Lots and biddle. It's like gibbles and bits, but different. Excuse me. Sorry about you.
It's just the way it is. You got to be happy. It's being done with smoke and mirrors. We are going to be 100% honest. A team does not have 408 yards to 238 and lose the time of possession and still not win the game. The statistical probability was like 5% of that happening. And that's just the way the Giants are right now. It's one of those things that, you know, it's something, and there's been plenty of players who've said it before. I'd rather be lucky than good. Because luck does play a lot into sports. You also heard Darren talk good about, you know what? You can talk good about Daniel Jones. Do you remember back in 2016? I think it was 2016. Was it 2016? Or 16 or 17, I don't remember. The vaunted Buffalo Bills made the playoffs. Tyrod Taylor won a playoff game. And the next year they dumped him and got Josh Allen. So what do you want? I mean, that's why I love when people say, well, he's talking good about Daniel Jones. What do you want him to say? Do you want him to say, well, Daniel Jones sucks? He's not going to say that. Here's the problem you need to look at and you need to think about. Yes, no, I'm sorry. It's 2017 Buffalo Bills went to the playoffs with Tyrod Taylor. 2018 Buffalo Bills drafted Josh Allen. Tyrod Taylor had 14 touchdowns, like 4 interceptions. He was a game manager. And then they went and got Josh Allen. Joe Shane is not flying all over the country on Saturdays before a game to go look at quarterbacks because he thinks Daniel Jones is the guy. Joe Shane's, he wasn't the general manager back then, but he's been on organizations who have a track record of making the playoffs and then dumping their quarterback the next year and drafting anew. It's nothing bad against Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones right now is the ultimate game manager. Daniel Jones is 81 Scott Bruner. Said this a million times. It is what it is. I ain't going to Afghanistan, baby. Yo, I'm doing good. I didn't do a stream for a while. Didn't do a stream for a long time. For a couple weeks. I like going on. But you have to remember this. Even in 2017, when Buffalo made the playoffs, 2018, they went 6-10. There may potentially be a drop-off. That's what I'm telling people now. Enjoy what's happening now. Because you know what? You don't know what's going to happen in the next couple of weeks. I'm not saying, well, we got to fix that. You're not saying, oh, my hair is on point and I'm screwing it up. We're not saying the Giants are going to lose to Jacksonville, but the Vegas thinks so highly of the Giants that they're 2.5 point favorites. Jacksonville. Well, here's the problem, Lou. Here's the big problem. I also don't want to start with a quarterback who can't throw for over 200 yards because the team does not trust him to throw the ball down the field. And there's Stan has got a great point here. Mitchell Trubisky got his fifth-year option declined, made the playoffs for the second time on his rookie contract, and still got dumped. It happens. There is a body of work that shows this happens. But people are just like, well, and I love the people on Twitter. I swear to God, I'm having an aneurysm. Daniel Jones, MVP. MVP of what? He's not even the best player on Sunday. He does the same thing. He has 1 to 2, potentially 2 good drives an entire game, his offense racks up 238 yards in total offense. He started the majority of the game on the 45 for Baltimore and couldn't put up any points. And if it wasn't for the Ravens shooting themselves in the foot, which is part of luck, this would be a different story. But that's it. It's a story, and it's a good story right now. It's a good story. What's going on? It's going good. I'm always having a good time. And of course, our GM is scouting players. That's literally no, Jerry. Let me break the news to you. Someone that worked in the league. Let me break the news to you. General managers do not usually go out on scouting trips. That's why they have assistant general managers. That's why they have an entire scouting department. And our general manager is going out to scout quarterbacks only. He's not going to Penn State to scout a linebacker. And the majority of the time, the general manager does not go out right before a game on Sunday to Tennessee to look at Hooker, who I personally love. I love the picture of Shane and Hooker. I was like, there you go. Those are my two guys right now. I'm going to do a video about Hooker. I've been talking about him on Twitter now for a couple of weeks. He really opened my eyes in the Florida game. And I know he's going to be 25 when the season starts, but he's not a Chris Winkie, who was like 48. Me and Chris Winkie could go play. I mean, 48, I don't know, it wasn't 40, it was like 32, but, you know, I can't do math. Trent Dilfer, anyone? Trent Dilfer, 2000 Baltimore Ravens. Brad Johnson, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Trent Dilfer is the only quarterback to win a Super Bowl and not be with the team next year. I swear to God, I'm going to have an aneurysm. I am. Because it's the stupidity. It is. It really is. Then I love this because someone posted on Twitter, this is the apology note to Daniel Jones. Suck it. Sorry, you don't throw for over 200 yards. You cannot get more than 238 out of your offense. You should be bowing down to the altar of Saquon Barkley. Over 600 yards rushing. Heads up play. Not falling into the end zone. Reminds me about Mountain Bradshaw when he fell into the end zone. When he tried to stop and fell into the end zone. Heads up play. Without Barkley, this team is not 5-1. Without moments on defense, this team is not 5-1. Without Dexter Lawrence right now, this team's not 5-1. Hell, without Dory Jackson right now, this team's not 5-1. Fabian Monroe, same thing. You could have plugged in Tyrod Taylor, and I had to break the news to people. You could plug in Tyrod Taylor, And he'd be the same thing as Daniel Jones. I want to break the news to you guys. Really don't. Certain people understand that. Boy, my hair is on point today. It's on point, man. The gel did its job. I love how people are saying we should bring Jones back, but don't bother discussing how. Here's the problem. Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Alex Sports. We have 50 million in cap space. And I know these other websites say 60. We don't have 60. We have 60. We have 50 million because of rollover money and a whole bunch of other stuff. And I'm usually never off by more than 100 grand. We got about 50 million in cap space. You have 39 players under contract. You are not going to have any maneuverability with the Leonard Williams deal because you've already extended out the money into 2023 and 2024. You can get rid of Galladay, but there's going to be a cap hit associated with. You cannot get rid of Adoree Jackson because you can't take your CB2 your CB1 right now thrown out. 10 million right off the top. 10.5 to 11 million right off the top because of rookie class. So you're already down to 40 million. If you don't trade Saquon Barkley, you have to. If he comes close, if he sits there and goes 1,700 yards, and let's say another 600 rushing, you got to resign him. So that's 10 million right there. You've already got down to $30 million, and you have 39 players under contract. You're going to give 20 million to Daniel Jones. You're going to give 20 million to Daniel Scott Bruner Jones? I don't think so. They're too smart. Sometimes, I wonder what, and I'm not picking on you, my friend, but I said, I don't want to start with rookie quarterback. I wonder how they thought about that with Josh Allen out of Wyoming, of all places. Daniel Jones may be clutch game manager. We need to see him continue to perform. A clutch game manager is a game manager who gets hot for one or two drives. But the problem is, in this time, if you were in the 80s or the 90s, that'd be fine. But this is the 2022 NFL. That's not going to be the way to win games. It's a way to win games in a short period of time for a snapshot, a moment in time, but it's not sustainable. If you think your offense can keep generating 238 yards in total offense against 408 and win consistently, that's not the NFL. I watched Scott Bruner. Jones is much better than him. Scott Bruner won a playoff game. Scott Bruner threw 4 touchdowns against the Eagles? Scott Bruner took his team to the playoffs. That's when Phil Simms got hurt in 81. Different eras also. He's Scott Bruner. I think it's funny. Kenny G and Tony still haven't scored a touchdown yet. Yeah, I do think that's funny. And Wan'Dale, you know what? You gotta love Wan'Dale. He's a special kid.
I don't know what the fuck you just said, little kid, but you special, man. You reached out and you touched it by the heart.
That's what happened with Wan'Dale to me yesterday. It was good to see number 17 do something. Outside of the top 5 quarterbacks that can repeatedly rack up 200 yards is not a benchmark. There are quarterbacks that average 300 yards. And I love it. Can they repeatedly rack up 200 yards over the roster and go? I've seen bad quarterbacks. I've seen good quarterbacks on bad teams throw for over 300 yards. Everyone is just... What does Brian say? You could tell from Dable's body language at the pressers that he takes offense at the fan of the media's critiques. He pretends it's all a lie, but it's obvious. You're right. You're right. I like Dable. I like Dable a lot because he says what he means. Unlike Joe Judge, who is a constant bullshit, Dable says what he means. He says it all the time. You don't look at the record. You look at the team in front of you, not the team behind you. And you play your opponent ahead of you. That's why I love Brian Dale. He understands that you have to play the opponent that's in front of you. And not worry where you've been, but worry where you're going to that next week. I think it's fantastic. OG Knox, Dan Jones is game manager. I hope the Giants don't make a mistake he's not our franchise quarterback. Like I said, 17, Tyrod Taylor leads the Buffalo Bills, a magical season, to the playoffs. And they win a playoff game, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. He's gone the next year, and they draft Josh Allen. After Tyrod Taylor had two pretty good years in a row. No, McAdoo. McAdoo did not have hair like this. McAdoo was not 50 plus years old and have hair like fucking this. I'm sorry. But thank you. Hair's on point tonight. Let's see, Jerry. He's not only scouting quarterbacks. I'm not wrong, Jerry. I'm not wrong at all. I'm 100% right. You don't go and sit there and talk. Name one guy on Tennessee that the Giants would be looking at besides Hooker. And it just so happens that every week that he goes out, it's a school that has a big-time, big-name quarterback who will be in the 2023 draft. Oh, my God. What's up, Mark? How you doing, Mark Thompson? What's going on, my friend? But the problem is you got to look at stats sometimes because you have to look at how you're winning. That's the problem. Looking like Brandon Walsh, 90210. I think I'm more Dylan McKay. Dylan McKay? Was that it? What does Brian say? You can tell by his body language at the presser that he takes offense at the endless media question from Daniel Jones. Folks are free to pretend that it's all lies, but it's obvious. I agree. You're right. Without DJ, we don't win. What are you saying? Without DJ, we win. You are not trading Barkley or letting. You are. Sorry. Look at the cap space. Tell me I'm wrong about the cap space. I know, because I loved it last year when I came out well before the season and said we're going to be fucked with the cap space in 2022. Everyone's like, you don't know anything. You're wrong. Really? Okay. Okay. I honestly think the next loss is going to either come against Jacksonville or Seattle. Geno Smith is playing better than Daniel Jones. And look at the stats. You have to be a little, and people are going to point to the fact, well, Jacksonville just lost. How could they be better? I'm not saying they're a better team, but are the Giants really a better team than Green Bay? Were they really a better team than Baltimore? No, it was a better team in a moment. And that's what people don't get. And I wish they could. Mark Thompson says, can't agree with you on that. You can't replace DJ with Tyrod. You will have the same record. You're right. They might be 6-0. Hey-oh. Oh, my God. What does Jay have to say? What's up, Jay? I know we don't have the best wide receivers, but the NFL is next man. Thank you, Jay. I'm saying that every day, and I love it. I love when I say it's a next man up mentality. People are like, well, you don't know what you're talking about. Really? Because I played. I've seen people get hurt. I've seen people come off the bench. Sometimes you have to have the balls to strap it on and go out in the field. And for those that don't, shut up. I don't want to hear from you. 200 yards was good in the 80s. Thanks, Mike Lee. Thanks, you, Mike Lee. Because at the end of the day, stats matter to a point. You are not going, mathematically, if you are outrushed or if you were outgained 408 to 238, there was a 5% mathematical statistical data that you would win that game. 5% chance. That's why. We got our porn jumping back in there. Make sure, if you're looking for a hot Tinder date, it's XYZ, the best in adult entertainment sites. We'll block them. I missed the porn. What is Mr. Alvarez says? People sound dumb. Saquon is what frees. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Alvarez. People sound dumb. Saquon is what frees up Daniel Jones in the first place. Daniel Jones played last year without Saquon. Oh, wait, the stats look the same. And you're right. The stats look the same they're probably going to come out to be the same as last year. You're right. But the difference is they have Saquon. Luann says Jones is a franchise quarterback. Well, you're entitled to stupid opinions. It's all good. What's up, Hunter? What's going on, my friend? Who is Vic? Who's this guy? I don't know who this guy. Why do you remind me of Vic? Who? That haircut. It's fantastic. I don't know who that is. Who is this? I don't know who that is. The whole show should just be how awesome. I think I'm just going to have the whole show, but just be how awesome is my hair. I have a new podcast coming out. It's called Get Off My Lawn. Get Off My Lawn. The Mad Ramblings of a Gen Xer. The Mad Daily Ramblings of a Gen Xer. Stay tuned for that. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Let's see here. What did he say? If Jones admitted he is scouting, if Joe admits he is scouting quarterbacks, there will be people that won't believe him. Looking at you, DJ Lovers. He's in a photo I posted multitudes having an in-depth conversation. with oh, no, don't forget to watch the NFL live on HDR NFL. It's always a good channel. Another good sponsor of the channel. You got a picture next to Hooker, and you're like, he's not really talking to him. Oh my God. If we continue, we're going to get a high draft pick and a quality quarterback might not be available when you pick. The Buffaloes and Bills made the playoffs at 9-7. I picked Josh Allen next year. Dylan McKay. He is the dangerous Dylan McKay. I've already said I like Hooker. He had this moxie. He had this poise about him. And maybe it's because he's a little bit older. Again, in that Florida game against Richardson. And he had a real big game last week, man. I mean, he's looking tight. I mean, he is looking special. Top 10 quarterback on what? Madden? Cornhole? With Tyrod Taylor too. Sorry, AB. You and I know you're one of the biggest Daniel Jones lovers there are. You probably have the Monday through Friday Daniel Jones panty set. But sorry, if you look at it from statistically what this offense is doing, I don't see a difference. Our offense is really creative. I like what Kafka has done. Once you get some of the horses on the outside and another key position will be overall coaching is a bright spot. It is coaching. The coaching is what's making this team. Coaching is what's making this team run. I don't think Wink's going to be back next year. I think if Wink continues doing what he's doing, he should have got the job over over Joe Judge. He should have got the job over Judge. I did a video that that thought they should hire Wink. He's going to get a coaching opportunity. He's going to get a head coaching opportunity next year. Wink. Kafka's not. Kafka's still 32 years old. He's been in the league for a hiccup. And a lot of it's going to be, is it more? And a lot of people are going to wonder, kind of like Eric Bieniemy. They're going to wonder more if it's Andy Reid or Bieniemy, or if it's going to be more Brian Dable or Mr. Kafka. This is the kind that we had with oh my God, thank you. This is the kind of like when we had Cannell and Ken Graham, quarterbacks who are similar to, thank you. Oh my God, G-Man 7187. Danny Cannell took the Giants to the playoff one season, and the wheels fell off the bus. And they thought they had something, the Giants under Dan Reeves, with the Cannell-Kent Graham combination. I remember a really bad game of Kent Graham's. It was towards the end of the season. I think it was I can't remember, 90, whatever it was. And it was against Washington. And it was just bad. And the Giants did not draft a quarterback because they thought they had something with Danny Cannell and Kent Graham. And then after that playoff, it set the team back. Thank you. That is a great up. That is that two thumbs. G-Man. I don't know. There you go. What does Richie say? Richie says, so you think, so which quarterback do you think is after the Giants draft is better than Jones? I would say Young. I would say Hooker. I would say Richardson. Don't say Young for he's going to get physically killed. Really, because that Kyler Murray, man, he's getting killed. Doug Flutie got killed. Oh, my God. Do you see a future? No, I don't see a future because you can't. You don't have the cap space. That's the problem. You have $50 million. We have 50. Okay. 10 automatically goes to your draft class. You would now have $40 million with 39 players under contract. You're going to give 20 to Daniel Jones and have 20 million left to sign another. And even with the rule of 53, you're going to be able to sign another 14 guys with 20 million. No, it just doesn't make sense. Sorry. I'm sorry. David Terry says Jones hype is really getting out of control. It's because they legalized weed. I think I need some of that. I love this. I love this about Dave, and I love AB. I really does. AB used to think I blocked him. I never blocked him. I think he just didn't know how he was working the internet. AB says the only stuff that matters is wins. I don't care if Jones has negative 200 yards as long as if you have negative 200 yards, statistically, you're not going to win many games. Vic is a comedian who also does Giants comedy skits. Oh, okay. Cool. Where does he do giant comedy skits at? That's probably a really dumb question. You're probably gonna say YouTube. Mr. Alvarez says, for anyone who doesn't know, the franchise Jones is 30. No, you're wrong, Mr. Alvarez. It's 32 million to franchise Daniel Jones. Okay, now we're gonna do this again. 550 million. You take away 32 million. You now have. Sorry. Where's he going? The Panthers? I don't know. Wish him luck. Hope he goes someplace nice. Hope he goes someplace where there's some warm weather. Let's see. Here we go. I am slightly worried about Wink leaving because, again, D Sabres have a hard time getting job opportunities in the NFL unless statistically the defense is out. Right now, you have to be worried about it. I'm not going to worry about Wink right now. I'm not going to worry about Wink right now. But I could see him moving on. Don't forget to hit the like. We only up to 24 likes. That's not good. 24 likes. Come on, guys. I don't do live streams anymore. I don't. Too busy walking dogs. I'm a dog walker. I'm a dog walker extraordinaire. I like to brag about that. I'm on Rover and Whack. It's funny. You make money walking dogs. It's crazy. I got to knock out this porn again. And don't forget, if you're looking for a hot Tinder date, don't forget to make sure you go to hotdinnerDate.com, and you also get the NFL where needed on NFL HD. I don't remember where I was at now. There's a Danny Cannell question. And there's that. There's that. Okay, there was Mr. Alvarez. What do we got here? Let's say, where is he going to land? The Panthers? Wink? He could. The Panthers would be, you know what? The Panthers would be a nice spot for Wink. The Panthers would be a nice spot. That would be a nice spot for Wink. The last three Super Bowls all had great quarterbacks. Mahomes, Brady, and Stafford. Nick Foles is a serviceable quarterback that won a Super Bowl. Nick Foles got hot. Nick Foles had a moment. And you're right, Jay. Mahomes, Brady, Stafford. Which one of the, and out of curiosity, we'll leave it into the chat. Out of curiosity, out of Mahomes, Brady, and Stafford, which one would you take Daniel Jones over? I would still take a 490-year-old Tom Brady over Daniel Jones. It is just tough to draft quarterback when we were all probably being drafted. Yeah, you know what? That's the way it is. How would not drafting a quarterback late ruin the team? If the team collapses next year, there'll be because then you're stuck with the contract of Daniel Jones. I don't blame Shane for anything. I blame Shane for being smart because he was smart. Vic is very funny. I don't know who Vic is. Someone email me or text me whoever Vic is. DJ and Wink go to the Panthers. We take Hooker and we go to the Super Bowl. I like it. If we keep winning, what quarterback can we get next year? Did anyone think back in 2004 that Ernie Accorsi was going to get Eli Manning? Or do we think we were going to have Phillip Rivers? You don't know. We got the big James Williams. Yes, but Nick Foles had the game of his life, outdueled Brady. Never happen again if they play 20 times. And that's the thing. If you play the same game Sunday 20 times and the Baltimore has 408 to 238, I guarantee you we lose that game 19 times. Because it's just facts. Salute, big chat. Salute, big thing. That's what we're talking about here. How does a team go from 4 wins to talking about needing a Super Bowl quarterback? Because Daniel Jones is not a Super Bowl quarterback. He's not. He's Scott Bruner. He's Danny Cannell. He's Trent Dilfer. He's Brad Johnson. Talked about it before. 2017, Buffalo Bills, Tyrod Taylor went to the playoffs. Tyrod had 2 good years in a row. Very similar stats to what Daniel Jones is probably going to end up with. Next year, they go out and draft Josh Allen. Why? Because they know the quarterback's limitations. The offense doesn't, and I love it before because I can't remember who said it, and I quoted them on my show. If you spend all your time complaining about your lack of an offensive line and your lack of wide receivers, then you probably don't have a quarterback. Skip Bayless. You probably don't have a quarterback. It's true. It's true. And how many people think that Jimmy Garoppolo is going to win a Super Bowl? How many people think that Garoppolo's can take the 49ers to Super? The 49ers thought so much of Garoppolo, they got lucky that they drafted Trey Lance. They traded up a fortune to get Trey Lance. And that's what people need to understand. Oh, yes, a rookie quarterback will lead us to a Super Bowl. Rookie quarterbacks have. Looking at you, Big Ben. Sorry, guys, you can throw all the shit you want out at me. But the problem is this. I'm always going to tell you the truth. You don't like it? Don't watch. Don't care. Don't matter to me. Just doesn't. But I'm going to tell you the truth. The Giants are 5-1 because it's smoke and mirrors. That's all there is to it. And the coaching staff has it right. The coaching staff is the one, and they have their team saying the same thing over and over again. That it's the opponent in front of you that you need to worry about, not what your record is. And we have to take this 1 week at a time. The coaching staff has that right. That's why people are called fans. Because they're fanatics. Because they're fanatic about their team. I'm sorry, maybe because when you get older, you understand things better. You understand that sports is a snapshot and moment in time. It's an escape. But then when you step away and look at it from a realistic point of view, and if you step away and look at it from an actual sport point of view, you see different things. That's all. I talked to someone that worked in the league for 30 plus years. Talked to them today. It's given us information before. They said Daniel Jones is the worst starting quarterback in the NFL. Outside of Justin Fields. And they say they have more faith in Justin Fields because of the fact that he's only been in the league for 1 year and 6 games. I want to rock. One guy for the past 100 years that you guys think is norm, Joe Burrow, was a miracle run. Phil Simms had a miracle run in 1986. Jeff Hostetler had a miracle run in 1990. Nick Foles had a miracle run. There have been plenty of teams who've had miracle runs in the annals of NFL history. There's been multitudes of teams that have been special. The Dirty Birds with Chris Chandler had a run. The 2000 Baltimore Ravens with Trent Dilfer had a miracle run. You could go back to the Eagles and Nick Foles had a miracle run. If we traded him for Tom Brady. Let's see here. What do we got here? Burrows did have an O-line last year. Where did he end up? Oh yeah, Joe Burrows. Yeah, poor guy. Didn't have an offensive line, only had wide receivers. Ended up playing the Super Bowl. You're right. You're right. Quarterback can't do anything. Let's see. What do we got here today? What score do you predict today? I think it's going to be 9-6 Chargers. I'm going to go. I like the Chargers. Even with everything that's going on with the Duck and his injuries. I don't have a score prediction. My score prediction. Pain. I'm with you, Tim. Because you're smart. Because you're smart. How is that a whole different time? Daniel Jones is putting up Big Ben stats. And don't forget to watch the NFL live because we got us sitting here going, making sure you watch this. Put them in timeout. Put them in timeout. Miracle Run is better than no. I agree, Jay. Miracle Run is some of the nicest seasons in the Giants or Miracle. The 2000 Giants where I went to that Super Bowl in Tampa. That was a miracle run. It ran into a buzzsaw called the Baltimore Ravens and Ray Lewis. You know, when we took the kickback at the second half, I thought that and it was funny because I was late getting back to my seat because I was working for a telecommunications company. We had a corporate suite and I was late and I missed Dixon's return. And then I come back and you see then we came back and we saw what happened. I was like, oh, maybe I should have stayed in the bathroom. That's my teammate, man. That's what, you know what? Oh, T-Brad, thank you. I forgot all about that, man. I forgot about that.
It's my quarterback.
And if you guys do that, man, it's unfair.
I love that. I love that. I wish they would build a system on Justin Fields. OC over there is lost. They have no offensive line. You want to talk about truly not having an offensive line? You have to go out and get Alex Leatherwood, who was cut by the Raiders. That's and you know what? And they're still somehow winning some games, the Bears. I don't think he's Tannehill. I don't think he's Jimmy G. He could be Jimmy G. First round quarterbacks have fared worse. Yeah, that's true. But you know what? You have to think of the longevity of your team. You have to think outside of a season. And that's why Shane, your general manager, is going out every Saturday, getting on a plane and scouting quarterbacks. That's why, because he was part of the 17 Bills who understood what they had in Tyrod Taylor, and they understood, you know what we need to do? We need to make a change. That's what they did. And they were Jamal Anderson, and they were snapshot in time. And if you take a look at it, who right now has the best running back in the league? Hey-oh. I don't mind, honestly, but people continue to deny the Giants, but Big Blue will continue to I hope they do. I've said it many times. I got season tickets. My ass will be sitting in the stands in a playoff game. I hope they may. I love when people go, well, you're just upset because, they're winning. I'm not upset because I'm very excited to win. I get to go to games because I'm the type of fan that goes out there, and I'm the type of fan that goes, and he was also, yes, he played 8 games. He also played all the games in the playoffs. You have to remember that. You got to learn the dirty bird, man. Dan Reeves used to do the dirty bird. Jim says, all the crap Justin Fields gets, he really has no weapons. I bet the Bears don't give him 4 years. I don't know if they don't give him 4 years. I don't know. You have to wait and see. DJ is a Tannehill type with more athleticism. Does anyone remember? You know what? I love when they talk about Ryan Tannehill. Because you know what? I have a lot of friends. I lived in Miami for years. So I got a lot of friends that are still in Miami. And, they were not upset when Tannehill left. And I laugh because in 15, he threw for over 4,000 yards. He threw for 4,000 yards in both 14 and 15. Tannehill did. He threw for 27 touchdowns, I think. It's like 27 or 24 touchdowns those 2 years in a row. Then he had the big season with the 33 touchdowns in 2020. And he took his teams 11-5. But Tannehill still completes 67% of his pass, 70% of his stats. But if you take a look at his average yard per completion, it's around 7 yards, which is around league average, 7.5, 8 yards. Daniel Jones is below that. I think Andrew Thomas, you know what gets me a little upset? I think Andrew Thomas is top 3 left tackle. I think he's definitely top 3. No one's talking about Evan Neal. Evan Neal played all 65 snaps. Evan Neal did his job. And you know what? In some ways, it's good they're not talking about Evan Neal. Because if you talk about Evan Neal, that means he's probably not doing his job. But you got to give a big kudos to Evan Neal. I'm still thinking we're taking a quarterback. I think we're going to take a quarterback. 100%. I don't think anyone said that, AB. No one said trade our whole O-line draft picks for an automatic Super Bowl according to you. No one said that. But you're also saying that Daniel Jones is going to take you to the promised land, throwing for 178. He's playing, and I said in the video today, he's playing mistake-free football, which is what he needs to do. But the reason the last 2 regimes have gone into a shell with their passing game is because they don't trust Daniel Jones. They don't make this shit up. Let's forget the DJ talk. Decision comes at the end of the season. The aspects of the team is a good base. Where do we need to improve and where do we need to be? So we need to figure out the linebackers. That's what we need to figure out. We need to figure out a way to maintain and hold the edge. They're not holding their assignments on the edge. That's why they went out and got Landon Collins and Jalen Smith and AJ Klein. I like Kenyon Drake. I liked him in Miami. I also liked him when he was over with the Cards. But he should not be ripping the Giants for the amount of runs that he did. And I worried from the beginning of the season that we were going to run into a team that had a plethora of tight ends. And we were going to have a problem covering. Tate Crowder's a nice guy. Kay Crowder's a great guy. He's a nice guy. He's a nice story. But I believe he has 8 missed tackles for 130-something yards this season. That's not a starting linebacker. That is not an NFL starting. I love this NFL TV because if you don't know about this NFL TV, you need to go out and watch it. I keep blocking these people. What are linebackers? Linebackers? Linebacker. You can't trade King of the Almost Sack. You could have traded King of the Almost Sack if you did not push out that money and give him a voidable year in 2004 worth $3.5 million. You could have traded him. It would have hurt the cap, but you could have traded him. It would have been possible. I think he's better than Dave Brown. I think he's Dave Brown. No, he's not going to be back next year. I'm going to point it out again. I'm going to slow it down for people. $50 million in cap, 10 automatically goes to your draft class. You have 39 players under contract. If you even consider giving Daniel Jones $20 million, you have $20 million left in cap space. You franchise tag him, which is $32 million. You have $10 million left in cap space. You can still move some of your players. You're not moving Leonard Williams because it's going to be too much of an issue. And if you were going to move Leonard Williams next year or restructure him next year, you would have done it. You would have done it this year, and you would have pushed out the money into 2025. But Shane is protecting his cap space. No, he's not going to be back. And it's 7:41 on October 17th. Mark it down. Mark it down. Yeah, I'm saying it. I'm saying the silence on Evan, and I Mr. Fitness, I agree. The silence on Evan Neal is a good thing. But you got to give him a little bit. I mean, you got Kayvon Thibodeau making the big play, making the closer move and crying on the field. But you don't see anything about Evan Neal. And I think Evan Neal is, like I said, everyone like Andrew Thomas. I love how everyone loves Andrew Thomas now. I remember Andrew Thomas's rookie season. He was a bum. I remember just last week, Evan Neal sucked. And now we don't even hear about it. Now he's a world beater. Razzle the Great says, I love Evan Neal settling in. He didn't seem to take long as Evan. Well, it's one game. It's one game. One game does not make a career. One game does not make a season. Get ready for I'm going to shameless plug. Get ready for the new podcast. Get off my lawn. The mad ramblings of a Gen Xer. We've been upgraded. We've upgraded. I haven't plugged it in yet. The brand new Rode Pro 2. We've upgraded. We've upgraded systems. We've upgraded everything. I got to figure out how to make it work. I like this one though. I like the old Rode. I like the old one. But you got to have the new one because it's got better sound quality. And all these other fun stuff. Good time to trade King of the Almost Sack. We talked about that.
King of the Almost Sack.
So if we bring back DJ and re-sign him, then what do you do with Saquon? Because DJ ain't nothing without Saquon. That's facts. You're right, James. You're 100% right. You remove Saquon Barkley from this equation. You take him out of this offense. It's not going to happen. Sorry, guys. I don't make the rules of the NFL. I don't. We don't have the money, people. I agree. The Giants' D-line and coverage unit looks extremely promising. We can become a super team in 2 years. Like I said, Mr. Fabian Monroe, I don't know which one, how to pronounce it. Great pickup. Good pickup right now. I believe he had 8 tackles all solo. Dory's playing lights out. And I got to give Dory all the credit in the world. Because of Dory, like I said, and I'm not just, and I said it on my stream, I'm not just being nice to Dory because my son is part of the Junior Giants, and they had a conference call with the Dory Jackson. So, not just saying that. And Julian Love, man, Julian Love has been playing well. Julian Love has been playing great. Julian Love has been playing beyond expectations. So you got to give a big shout out for Julian Love. Linebackers, what are linebackers? We don't need no stinking linebackers. Don't worry. Wide receiver talent has a lot to do with why we aren't passing a lot. Phil Simms, 1984. First Giant to throw for over 4,000 yards in the 80s. Ernest Gray, Was his big wide receiver in 84? How many people are running around with Ernest Gray jerseys? What's Vinny G at? What's up, Vinny? Give the Seahawks Barkley in first round pick for Geno Smith, I guess. Look at the backup quarterback with weapons. DJ throws to UPS drivers. Who are the big time weapons? Yeah, Metcalf just started coming around, but for 4 weeks he's been nothing. Oh my goodness gracious me! Great balls of fire. What do we got, Patty? What's up, Patty? Geez, can we hear about the exciting year the Giants are having to players that are developing and let Daniel Jones? I've already talked. I'm done with it. People keep bringing up Daniel Jones. I talk about what people say in the chat. I'm very ecstatic about the Giants this year. I think it's great. I think what they're doing is awesome. Lionel Manuel was not in 84. Lionel Manuel was in, I believe, in 85, 86, along with Bobby Johnson, Byron Williams, Solomon Miller. Tim, do you think any cap casualties next year besides Kenny G? Kenny G problem is you're gonna have to eat some of that money. It's not, and your problem with Kenny G is depends on when you move, and you're gonna have to eat the money next year, and you're gonna have to eat 3.5 the following year as well. It's gonna be they are gonna have some interesting. They're gonna have some interesting maneuvers next year. They really are. Shane is really going to make his money next year. He really is. Oh, bull. Any wide receiver staying for here? We got the dangerous David Sills. We got the dangerous David Sills. Ernie Accorsi and Jerry Reese never scouted other quarterbacks when Eli Manning was in his early years. George Young never scouted quarterbacks. George Young, when they went out and drafted Phil Simms in 79 from the venerable Morehead State, did not go out and scout him. General managers don't go out and scout people. What do we got here? Sigh. I hope we at least keep Dex. Well, Dex is signed for he picked up the 5th-year option, Dex, which is another looking like another brilliant move from our old buddy. To Shane. I like Shane a lot. I think Shane is smart. I think Shane has an understanding, and I think Shane has a football understanding. And I think he is going to be the one that turns this around and keeps it consistent, because you don't want to just have 1 year. You don't want to have a Macadoo year. You don't want to be 11-5 next year and then lose the following season. You want to build a consistent winner, and sometimes you tear it down. Right now, the Giants are playing with house money. They're literally playing with house money because they're 5-1. Shane looks like a genius, and he could pretty much do whatever he wants to do. He really can. Well, technically, it would be Kenny G. When Tom Brady was winning his first couple Super Bowls, who were his wide receivers? I forget. Outside of Bavaro in 86, Lionel Manuel, Bobby Johnson, Byron Williams. Steady growth from you. That's what you want to see. Steady growth. The inside linebacking position, yeah, you know what? They're going to have to find somebody. They're going to have to figure out something, because, like I said, if we can, like I said, Kenyon Drake is a professional running back. He probably should have carried the mail a little bit more in Miami. He split duty with a couple of running backs. You said duty. But he's he's just not a guy. He is just Deion Branch. Everyone comes up with Deion Branch. Deion Branch had 2 good seasons. Who was his other guy? Just out of curiosity. Just out of curiosity. But the linebacking situation, that is going to be something that's going to have to be it's going to have to be looked at, because of the fact that right now, if you look back, you are not going to be able to control and continue to have these types of issues, because, like I said, I like Drake. I like Drake a lot. I think Drake has got something special. But like I said, I just don't see him being that consistent guy. And that's what we're going to have to look at. I'm sorry, I'm reading something right now. Oh, and I'm sorry, that first Super Bowl, it was Troy Brown, David Patton, and Kevin Falk, with Terry Glenn, Charles Johnson, Brett Emanuel, Torrance Smith, Freddie Coleman, Curtis Jackson. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Okay. Deion Branch didn't play in the first Super Bowl. If you're going to throw something out, just at least please get this. Just please get the years right, please. That's all I ask. That's all I ask. Todd Taylor says the tackles are looking good. If the other three guys are playing in the middle, you know what? The tackles are playing well. The tackles are playing well. The tackles are playing. I like the tackle play. The guard play is not doing bad at all. And you know what? And like I said, the line is showing something. Holler at me if you need help setting up the audio. No, I thank you, Mr. Authentic. Actually, I have people. Sorry, I was watching Scarface. I got people helping me with that now. So they tell me that's how we got the instant replay hard drive system, audio, whatever set up. But thank you, I appreciate that. Without Saquon Barkley, we're 1-5. You're probably right. Without Saquon Barkley, we're in a little bit more trouble. What's up, Kevin? Kevin says, while Jones is playing better, I hope that he would. I still say to myself, when is Jones going to mess up? Now, I think it's sort of a lot. I actually, it's funny. Yes, you're right. People are still waiting for the shoe to drop with Daniel Jones. James Williams, I love it because James Williams was calling, was it I that called him Papa Smurf? But he played, you know what? You got to give Wan'Dale Robinson credit. He held when he juggled the ball a little bit, I was a little concerned. But he caught the ball. He looked good going in the end zone. He cut the corner. He made sure the pursuit was far enough away, and he scored. It was great. It was awesome, man. Who's texting me now? Mike Lee. What's up, Mike Lee? Mike Lee says the actual difference is a healthy Barkley. Barkley wasn't healthy last year, and where were we? You're right. Wan'Dale looked good, man. You got to give Wan'Dale mad props. And like I said, you have to give Shane mad props right now because Shane went out and drafted Wan'Dale as a redundancy to Kadarius Toney. That's awesome. I got too many buttons now. I want to push all these buttons. I got so many buttons now. People come into the online Big Blow office and think it's mission control. Mr. Alvarez says, according to a lot of draft analysts, this year's linebacker props look average. The Giants might need to have to find a linebacker in free agency. God, the Giants are stuck. We'll be fine. I'm not worried about the linebackers yet. Lionel Manuel. Yeah, Mr. Finn's like, Lionel Manuel had a 1,000-yard season for the New Giants. I think it was in 87. I can't remember, but he did have a 1,000-yard season. According to, they did that one. Hate to bring it up. Then don't, Todd. How much better could we be? How much better could this D be if they could have kept Bradbury? I honestly think the defense is playing beyond expectations. Would they be better with Bradbury? Sure. Would they be better than Bradbury, who people think lost a step, than with Al on the other side? Yeah. But Fabian Moreau has played well. He's played beyond expectations. Adoree was a guy I didn't want, but he shut them. Yeah, like I said, I'm glad Adoree's here. I got to give a big shout out to the Giants, though. The Giants is season ticket. Like I've mentioned, I'm a season ticket, but the Giants have been stepping it up, and they always do special things. But my family and I are going out to Giant Stadium on this Friday, and we're going trick or treating in Giant Stadium. My son's going to get to go out in the field. He's going to get to go into the Giants locker room. They have a whole bunch of events and other things. And, they're really making up for the medium Pepsi. I mean, I got a free copy of Madden 23. I got a thing for NFL Plus for a year's subscription. We got the banners and everything else they sent in the pack. So, but like I said, and they do the Junior Giant thing. Where you get to get on the phone with the Giants. And I think that's awesome. I think that's great. Like I said, I'm very excited. My son is excited and pumped to go trick-or-treating in Giant Stadium and to go hang out in the locker room. There won't be any Giant players there because of the fact that they're going to be probably on the way to Florida, but they are going to be former Giant greats there. So I got to admit, I'm looking forward to it too. I'm not going to stream or do anything. I'm not going to stream or do anything there because one thing that did bother me, like something doesn't bother me. One thing that bothered me on the Junior Giants call, and I'm not going to call out the YouTuber by name, but the YouTuber was on the call for kids trying to ask questions, and it was a call for children. And like I said, I'm going to this on Friday as a father, not as a YouTuber. But I'm very excited. What do we got here? Tim, I know it's been early, but how many things have changed? But as of right now today, do you think we make the playoffs and join it? You know, I don't know. If you look at it statistically, because we like to talk about a lot of things statistically, if you look at it statistically, if you look at it that way, you should have a good opportunity to make the playoffs. You should. Lionel Manuel, number 83. Or no, Lionel Manuel was 84. I can't remember what Lionel Manuel was. Ernest Gray was 83. Who is Jackson throwing to besides Andrews and for some reason the Giants? Well, the Giants we still can't cover the tight ends because we still don't have the linebackers to cover the tight ends. Ernest Gray was 83. Ernest Gray isn't running around with Ernest Green jersey on. Hey-oh. Hey-oh. 84, come on, fam. 38 years ago, you got to give me a better comparison than that. No, I don't, because you know what? That's in Giant history. This is what I tell people. Learn your Giant history. I talk about the 81 season and the Giants and I have a video coming out tomorrow that's called The Parallel, the 81 Parallel. And I'm not going to get into it. I'm not going to get into the 81 Parallel, but we're going to talk about that. I really have a controversial question. How good is Aaron Rodgers really if he looks so mortal without a true number one wide receiver? Brady was throwing to nobodies for years. He was. I don't know. I think Rodgers is just unhappy. I think he was. What does T-Brad say? I think someone named T-Brad said something before the draft about the Giants really need to draft the wideouts. I think someone named, there is this guy named T-Brad. He is pretty cool. T-Brad's a pretty good guy. Do you think Tony will get deal before the headlines? I did a video 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago, I think it was 3 weeks ago. You can go back and look. That said the Giants are going to shop Kadarius Toney. That someone told me that knows and has some knowledge around East Rutherford that they were going to shop him. So I don't know. You have to wait. You have to kind of wait and see what happens. Once a Giant, always a Giant. Who's Joe Judge? Who's Joe Judge? What year did he play? I never heard of this. I've never heard of this Judge guy that you talk about. What is Denny? So this season is killing me. The 60-year fan heart is loving the Magic Carpet, thinking it will continue, but the 40-year coach in me sees too many holes on this roster for it to continue. You're right. You're not wrong, because you're thinking about this as a football person, as a football perspective. You're right. The fan sees a Magic Carpet ride. You can come with me, little girl, on a Magic Carpet ride. But that's what you see. You see the Magic Carpet ride, but as a football coach, as a football player, I worked in the league. I was a graduate assistant. I played for 3 years. You see these runs, you see these magical runs, but you're right. At some point in time, you know what? I think of the movie Cinderella Man with with Braddock. And the champ looks at him and says, "No, Cinderella Man, you should retire because people die in fairy tales." I think of that, and I think you have to continue holding on to this ride, because you don't know if or when the shoe will drop. This was a great comment. Good comment. Post of the day. It's crazy to me how the fourth quarter, I'm actually confident the Giants are going to come back and when they're down. It's nice. It's nice. It's nice. It's nice to have that understanding and that feeling. What does AB say? See, AB, I get to your comments all the time, man. AB said I didn't like him. AB said I blocked him. I don't block anybody. YouTube blocks you. I don't block you. If you leave derogatory comments and things, they take you out of the comment section. I don't block people. I block stupid people. And I don't really block them, I ban them. It was normal to have a quarterback for 4 years. Nowadays, fans want a new quarterback for the quarterbacks and throw for 300 yards, 3 touchdowns every game. Yes, but it's also normal to want a different quarterback if your quarterback's always hurt and never throws for over 2,500 yards or 12 touchdowns in a game in a season for 3 years in a row. Back in the 80s, even in the 90s, especially in the 80s, you would draft a quarterback, and sometimes it'd be 4 years before that guy even saw the field. I know this sounds ridiculous, but if we make the playoffs, I'm hoping our team peaks like 2007 style and makes a run in a century. It's wishful thinking, but I've been a losing franchise. Just like, it's not wishful thinking. It's fan thinking. And that's the thing. It's okay to be a fan and think it. Why not? Why not get your hopes up? Why not? Why not? Why not toot the giant horn? Be loud and proud. Why not? That's allowed. Anyone that goes to the games with me will tell you. I don't see where Big El Gigante is or LJ or those. Like I said, I have a tendency to hit people when I get excited. I'm a hitter. I've always been a hitter. And poor Big L. During the last game we went, his arm was all bruised up because I was beating on his arm. You get excited when you go to the stadium. It's fun. It's fun. It's exciting. It's drama. It's intrigue. Dun, dun, dun. Troy Brown. Yes, Troy Brown. Deion Branch wasn't on that Giant and wasn't on that first Super Bowl team. I love a parade. Troy Brown, David Patton, all the big names. How bizarre is it? How bizarre that this team is in a position to be looking at a trap game. Good teams don't lose to Jacksonville Jaguars. It's any given Sunday. It is. It's any given Sunday. What's up, Brad? It feels good to see the Giants line up in a victory formation and actually doing a victory. Yes, and Lionel Manuel did have 1,000 yard season when you talked about that. Hey-o. Let's see here. You know what? I'm going to invite, if T-Brad's out there or James is out there or anyone that wants to drop, I'm going to drop into the chat. Haven't done this in a while. We're not going to be doing a lot of live streams. I got too much going on. I wish I could. I wish I could. But if you're out there, Kevin Falk out of the backfield. Just a bit outside. Tried the corner and missed. If you're out there, I just dropped in the link. Especially if T-Brad's out there, because I need the T-Brad. Troy Brown. Everyone comes up with Troy Brown. Troy Brown. What do we say here? Let's put it like this. Does anyone think that Jones is worth 35 to 40 million a year with the body of play he has until now? No. No one does, Kevin. No one does. I said name his receivers during the first Super Bowl. Oh my gosh. Oh, who's calling me? Oh my God, I can't talk to you. Sorry, I can't talk. I can't talk to that person. I'm gonna have to call that person back though. I can't talk to that person. I'm gonna decline that call. That call is declined. What do you think of Robbie Anderson's situation Sunday? Now he's the Cardinals. Cardinals lost their receiver due to the injury. Robbie Anderson, I always said Robbie Anderson was the guy they were going to trade out of Carolina. That they're not trading DJ Moore. You can't give DJ Moore a $63 million extension that doesn't kick in until next year and then trade him because there's like a $40 million cap hit in Carolina, and then the other team's gonna have to absorb it in a very large amount of cap space for 2023. I thought Robbie Anderson was going to be moved. I didn't think he was going to be moved this quickly, only because of the fact that only because of the fact that is what you call it. It's just what happened. I need to keep texting during the game. Yeah, you got to. T. Brad, James Williams, and I are always texting each other during the games. I wish I could have. I was going to go this weekend, but with everything going on in my house, it was just not the weekend to go. DJ Metcalf, Bellinger's looking like a massive steal. Pro Bowls in the future. I don't know yet because, like you said, Bellinger reminds me of Ballard or Boss. Reminds me a little. If you want to go back a little, reminds you a little bit more of Tom Mulledy. Even a little bit of the Bob Tucker. He's a guy that's going to get you the yards, but he's not going to get you the yak. So I think that's the I needed my brother. I needed my brother to come on, and my brother came on. Most people do not know this, but James Wellings and I are related. As you could tell the family resemblance.
I know it's all in the chin.
It's eerie. The resemblance is eerie. If I had a skull cap on right now, you would be like, which one's James? Which one's Tim? What's up, my brother?
What's up, brother? What up, Chad?
I feel like I haven't seen you forever.
Yeah, it's been a minute. Like I said, I'm gonna make another trip out to you soon and let you know. But yeah, it's been a minute. I know you've been busy walking the canines, doing another little side hustle. So I know that's taking up a little bit of your time. But that's good though. That's good.
So James, I'm glad you stopped. I'm waiting for T-Brad to jump on too. And I like the hat.
Yeah, I've had this hat. This hat is beat the hell up. I like the hat.
Oh wait, you know what? This is like old home week now, because I got someone else jumping on here.
Oh, good.
It's like old home week. We have Mark from Barbados. I have not seen Mark for I don't know how long.
Hi guys.
What's up?
Hello, Mark. Now,
I'm good.
We just need We just need LJ, T. Brad, and Big L. And it's old home week.
Yeah, I've been busy. Sorry about that. Work's got me.
Mark, your excuses are your own.
Okay, sorry. Been watching the games though.
As long as you've been watching the games.
Yes, I've been watching the games. I didn't think you were going to let me on because I'm not agreeing with you on the DJ stuff.
Oh, I don't care.
Sorry, I'm just teasing. No, I'm teasing. I'm teasing.
I know, but it's no fun if everyone agrees.
Yeah, that's boring.
You know what? I'm going to ask you both this question. I'm going to start with James. 5-1. Are the Giants for real, or is this an aberration?
You know what? I'll play. Oh, you said Mark first, right?
No, James.
All right, good. Sorry, I didn't want to cut you off, brother Mark. But you know what? I'm gonna play devil's advocate on both sides, and I'm gonna say we are for real this year because every year in the NFL is different. And you know what? Take us out of it. Forget us. Forget the Giants for a second. Look at the rest of the league. Look at the rest of the NFC. It sucks. It sucks. It's horrible. The football. Brady said a couple weeks ago, the football I'm watching out here is trash. But he's talking about himself a little bit too. But the rest of the league is garbage. The hardest teams are in our division. The Eagles are undefeated. The Cowboys are winning with a backup. So that's why I said it in the chat that it'd almost be criminal if we don't make the playoffs at this point. We're 5-1. We have a melted butter schedule. There's nobody outside of our division that's a real quote unquote really good team or a Titan. So I'd say we are for real, but this year, I don't know about next year, but we are for real for right now in this moment.
Mark, same question. 5-1. Are the Giants for real, or is it just dust in the wind?
No. I think the Giants are for real, and I agree with James. I'll kind of put it in that context as well. I think I was very kind of like iffy when I saw what happened in Green Bay. Okay, then when I saw this last game here, it's more like how we are winning the games that I say that. We are actually coming from behind, and we are playing our best moments when it actually counts the most. So because of that, I think that's why we're for real. It's not like the 2016 team where yes, we won a lot of close games, and it was 11-5, and the defense was carrying the sway and all that. There's complementary football going on here, and I see improvement with every game, and I also see winning the games a little differently every time, so to speak. So whatever we think about Jones or whatever the case may be, he threw 27. He dropped back 27 times, and completed 7%. That's what was required of him, right? And when you needed the 3rd and 12 and the 3rd and 14 and that particular drive, whether it be this particular game or the last game, he did it at that point in time in order to score a critical point, especially the last game when Barkley was out with a hurt shoulder. So, but beyond that, other people are stepping in and doing other things at critical points. Julian Love steps in. He has the big interception, and he didn't just. When you hear him talk about it, he was so aware, situation-wise aware, that he said he kind of like waited and baited. Like he was fully aware that Jackson was going to try to do what he did, and when he did it, he was ready for it. He took the interception and he tried to run it back. Right, even Zimenez, who was supposed to rush the passer, if you look, he actually dropped back, and he was actually trying to cover the same guy that Jackson was going to throw to, but Love got there first. So what I'm saying is that these guys are playing smart. They really are playing smart. I mean, even Pinnock the other day, when the punt hit him, he turned around and tried to make sure he got it out of bounds. That was his reaction. Right. He didn't really. Yeah. So I'm just saying good
fundamental football.
Yeah, good fundamental football. They're not making the big mistakes. They're not making. So that's why I think it's for real.
Logic's Finance has got a good comment here. The mediocre quarterback needs 5 games to throw for his first 200 yards, and fans that want to put a goal jack. And a lot of fans are blind hope. Saquon and the defense are the reason why this team is winning. James. Agree or disagree with Mr. Logic's finest? Because you know what? He is Logic, and it is his finest.
Logic's finest, my cousin. What's up, brother? Logic, I love. I love when Logic and Michael Lee and Jeffrey Abbey and Cyprian. Like, there's a couple dudes in the chat. I mean, I love everybody, but there's a couple dudes that we're all like on the same page when it comes to certain things. So,
and sometimes you just wait for their comment.
So I don't have to always say it, but he's right. When I said that we're for real this year in this moment, let me put a cherry on that and say that, how they say, and they tell you in jobs, it's like you don't need anything to be on time, to try hard, to pay attention. Like those things are easy to do. They're free. That you could do that and be successful in most areas if you just do that. In sport, if you play to the whistle,
good cliche.
Play to the whistle. Give it 110% every play, and you limit your mistakes and get a little bit of luck along the way.
God willing, things will work out.
You're gonna win a lot of games. And like Brother Mark said, then fundamentally, which comes from good coaching. That's another thing. That just goes to show you how bad the coaching has been here. But this guy Dabo comes in here and automatically just. That kind of like lifts the veil a little bit, and it's like, oh, we're actually playing football, where it's like, it's not world beater, but we're winning games and we're not shooting ourselves in the foot. So, but it's, but like Brother Logic said, though, I gotta say it because I know Tim's been going through it, and Mark, I know what you said about DJ. Like anybody in this chat that's authentic, if you out there, y'all know I hate DJ. And I say that just as not like hate the man, but hate the player. I hate him. He sucks. He's not the guy. And I'm glad that he's winning games. But I was talking with T-Brad on Sunday. We were texting, and he said, DJ's playing good. And I'm like, well, is he playing good or is he just doing his job? Like, think about that, y'all, for a minute. Just think about that. Is DJ really playing good or is he just doing his job? Think about that. And it's not hate, but really think about that. He hasn't passed for 200 yards. Name one of these 5 wins where we can say, oh, he put the team on his back and carried us to that. Name one of the 5. We're a 5-1 team, and we're going on the road to Jacksonville. And if y'all pick up your apps or look in the paper, we are underdogs. That means Vegas does not believe in us.
That's a good question, Mark. The Giants are right now 2.5-point underdogs going into Jacksonville. Jacksonville's only won 2 games. Are you buying the Giants being underdogs in this game?
No,
Or do you think
definitely.
Vegas is wrong?
Yeah, absolutely. I think Vegas is wrong. But I mean, you know, what are you gonna do to get some respect? I mean, they've been horrible for like what, a very long time, right? So I mean, we come out here, nobody expects us to do anything. We do 5-1, so everybody's gonna be skeptical. As you said, the fact that Jones isn't like throwing 300 yards and all this kind of crap, because everything revolves around the quarterback, right? Everything revolves around the quarterback. So maybe if
I thought
he
everything
was
revolved around the sun.
well, apparently the quarterback when it comes to football. But so I really don't want to get into too much of the Jones conversation. I really don't, because I think we'll see. We'll see how it happens over the next 12 games or how much, 11 games, right? Over the next 11 games, and we'll see how it goes. I think that, yeah, I think it's sometimes a matter of interpretation. I think sometimes
wait a minute.
people want to stand up for him.
We have breaking news here. We have breaking news that is coming into the hold on. It's coming into the online Big Brew newsroom. Excuse me. Yes. The T Brad in his house.
Gentlemen.
What's going on, man? Another one I feel like I haven't seen forever. It's Old Home Week.
Yes. Hey, I'll tell you what, man. I miss being on here and hanging out and talking a little crap. Plan on getting to the Giants-Eagles game. And I'm never going to a game in Philadelphia, but plan on going to the Giants-Eagles game. I
will be there. I will be there. We can talk crap in the parking lot and barbecue.
Yeah, I hate no 4 teams more than I hate the Eagles. I hate it.
So you were a Texan machine at one point with James Williams on Sunday. At one point, I said, "Oh no, my phone's going bubbling." I'm like, "What the fuck?"
I'm willing the victory. I am willing the victory. You didn't see the magic happen. As soon as Mr. Williams said, "Oh man, this person, that's a waste." Oh, and let me go catch a touchdown. Yeah, well, we need Thibodeau to do something. Oh, let me get the sack fumble for the end of the game. The best players, they must be hearing us.
The best part was, it's true. James, at one point, for those who don't know, basically said that Wan'Dale Robinson was a waste. And then literally a second and a half later, Wan'Dale scores a touchdown. and I was like, well, that's some waste. Mr. T Brad, you have of course you have your own perspective about the Giants and their quarterback situation.
I try to.
And we've already gotten the information from James and from Mark. But what is your perspective on what we're looking at right now from number 8?
I'd have loved to see this 2 years ago, because then we'd be building off of it. I'd love for him to have the coaching he has now a couple years ago, because he'd be further along. Will Daniel Jones be a quarterback in the league? Yes, he can be a quarterback in the league. Can he be a leader? I don't know. But based on the financial way we are built, solely on that, I can't justify the money to the player. You don't want question marks at quarterback. I know bringing in a rookie starts the whole process over and starts the whole quarterback thing all over again. But maybe the coaching staff is like, look, we did it with Daniel Jones. We do this thing with anybody. Maybe.
Yeah.
Mike, can I make a plea to the nation here?
Sure. You can do it. You're a T-Brad. You do whatever the hell you want.
But here's the thing. I said if we make the playoffs, I will cut my dreads. I did say that.
You did say that.
And I stand by it. But will I be able to get out of it if I just get a Daniel Jones jersey and wear it for all the games?
No.
No,
No.
no, because
No,
get ready to cut those dreads, okay?
no, because you know what?
Hey,
You
I never said I cut him off. I said I cut him, so I can take an inch off of him.
see, and I laughed at one point.
You guys were very specific with the tattoo and the cornrows.
No, you were the cornrows for me. I said I would wear your dreads when you cut them off.
Yeah.
Hey, and I didn't say where I was getting the tattoo. Ain't nobody gonna see that thing, baby. So
You could always say I
That's
got it
interesting.
here. Somebody like, I'm not gonna look. I'll take his word for it.
It's 11 games. You know, we will talk about
Is it?
the bet. We'll talk
11
about the bets when we get closer. What's up,
Yeah,
Mark?
I was gonna. Yeah, I was gonna make that point that from a, and you keep talking about it, Tim, the cap space, right? Because the reality is, I mean, even the reality is can you really, at the end of this year, you have to decide to give him a longer term contract. You're not going to franchise him. You're either going to cut him, or you're going to let him go, or you're going to give him a 2 or 3 year contract, in my opinion, because you're not going to take 32 million or 33 million out of the cap. It just isn't going to happen. So he's really got an uphill battle. So just looking at it from that perspective, it's difficult. But just keep going. If they really believe in him, well, I guess they'll do some. But there's been improvement. Whether it happens at game 17, and who knows? I don't know what happens. But I'm just going to enjoy the ride for now. I think that's the best thing to do.
That's it. Enjoy the ride. I'm going to go around the room real quick. We'll start with James and go to T. Brad, then go to you, Mark. The question is, James, Daniel Jones, here or not next year? And if not, who's your quarterback?
I'll go backwards. I don't know who the quarterback will be, but he's not going to be here next year just solely based off the money. It just doesn't make sense. We have too many other holes to fill. And the other thing I'll just throw in that real quick is, who's more important to stop back if you had a choice, y'all? Saquon or DJ? Because Saquon will help whatever quarterback we bring in.
Right.
He's shown that he can help any quarterback we bring in. We could even have Mike Turkey Neck back there, and Saquon would probably have helped him out. So
that might be stretching it a little. Turkey neck stretching. That might stretch it a little bit.
I know. I'm just making the question before I pass it off to say, if we keep throwing around the question of DJ, what about Saquon? He'll help any quarterback that's back there.
True. T. Brad, you're on mute, T. Brad.
First of all, what college did Mike Turkey Neck go to? And like, what school is he from? Like, is it Iowa, Michigan State?
It's something
that name had me crying. Like Mike Turkey Neck. Okay,
I think it is a Midwest school.
Okay. I don't believe Daniel Jones will be there. The best option we have is to say, hey, remember that 5th year option we declined? Well, we'll sign you to that. That's the only way he comes back.
Now, if you're Daniel Jones, though, do you accept that?
He probably would. Who doesn't want to be a Giant? Honestly, after experiencing the Giant experience, and this is being honest, most players aren't looking to bolt out of here unless it's personal relationships with someone else, and he seems to get along, as he's got his mojo with this team. He'll want to stay. With the option to make more money, he'll want to stay. But he'll know he'll be fighting for his job probably.
But the question is, for him to do that, or even think about taking a 1-year deal, how many players have taken 1-year deals who have collapsed?
Right. Oh no,
never got the long-term money. So from DJ's perspective, if I'm him, I'm looking for a 3-year contract, like Mark was saying.
I'm not mad at him, but
I'm not mad. I got nothing but love.
Yeah, the business is the business, and if he makes a business decision to go to the Carolina Panthers, where quarterback careers die, knock yourself out.
What is that? The quarterback cemetery, the Carolina Panthers. All the top picks go there to die.
So yeah, you can be there, but as far as quarterbacks, and I have to be realistic because I love Stroud, I love Hooker. Thank you, old leader of the cult, when we started talking quarterback, she was like Hendon Hooker. I was like, you know what? I didn't like him. I compared him too much to Richardson.
You did.
And he can throw the ball. That's the difference. Hooker could throw the forward pass. That's big time. But based off that last performance, they won't be there when we're picking.
No.
So I have to look at who's going to be there when we pick. Even and now there's a lot of teams need quarterbacks. So they're going to go faster. So who's going to be there late? Sam Hartman? And do you get Sam Hartman in the first round?
You do like Sam Hartman.
I love Sam Hartman. I think
what happened when you texted me about Sam Hartman?
They lost the game. But guess
a
what?
moment later, they lost the game.
But guess what? He has 6 touchdowns already.
He did.
So losing, if I throw for 6 touchdowns, I probably did my job as a quarterback.
That's true.
I probably done my job.
That's true.
So yeah, I'm like, I can talk about who I like, but I have to think about who will be there in a realistic position for us to do what we want to do. Right. I mean, do we sign and trade Barkley? Yeah, we're not going to be able to move up like that. It's just is what it is. So I'm just thinking of a quarterback who may be like Van Dyke may be there from Miami, but that's a reach first round. How he played this year. Van Dyke really hasn't played that good this year. Oh, I'm sorry, you guys don't watch college football, but he hasn't played that good this year, and he's kind of highly rated. But there'll be some quarterbacks. We'll find the next Russell Wilson, but it's a business decision.
We'll find it. Now, Mark, I'm going to ask you the same question: is DJ back next year? And if not, who's your quarterback?
There's just so many variables. I think, well, if the Giants keep winning, and you're not picking in a position to draft the guy you want, unless you want to decide to cut him and just go with Tyrod, it's possible he could be back. I really don't know. It's so many variables. It depends too on the size contract that he would want. Okay, if I look at Cousins, Tannehill, and Goff, they're around $30 million, right? The upper echelon guys are 40 and 45 million and all that. They're around 30 million. After that, there's a drop off to like about 15 million or so with the Brissetts and the Bridgewaters and those kind of guys, right? So what kind of contract would you offer someone that? What kind of contract would he want to take? Is he a Tannehill? Is he a Goff? Is he by season's end? Is he one of those, or is he one of those other guys? I don't know. I think it's in terms of in the draft. I actually like Will Levis. I like him a lot. I like him.
We got a Will Levis vote.
I like Will Levis, but I don't think I'm not sure if he's going to be there at that point in time. But I like him. I like the feel of him, the look of him. I like him.
I agree with you, brother. The only reason I didn't bring him up is because I don't think he'll be there.
I agree. I don't think he will be there either. But who knows? You never know. People wheel and deal and do things. Do things that you
be their 5th overall either.
Yeah. You never know how the draft tree shakes out.
The same Bills, right? They were able to maneuver themselves to get with Josh Allen, right? You've seen the guy, what's his name from Philly. He's maneuvered around the draft and do other things. So you never know. You never know what happens when they got Wentz. They moved all the way up. They were all the way down. They were able to move all the way up. So you just don't know what a team is willing to do, going to do. So we'll see how it goes. As I said, I just want to just sort of like enjoy what's happening. And then
that's right.
If we're winning, most likely you're getting good enough play all around, right? And that means at the end of the day, you're gonna have some hard decisions to make. And there are lots of decisions that have been made because it's not just Jones and Saquon. You've got all sorts of people who might play well that you might want to resign or not resign yet. Might be all of smaller contracts. Julian Love, Dexter Lawrence, well, that's maybe not so small. But
Well,
you
Dexter
may
Lawrence,
want to
they picked up the 5th year on Dexter.
I know they picked up the 5th year, but they might decide to give him an extension and reorganize him so that you have more
go until
more cap.
2024.
He was
Right,
looking
so
like
you can get
a terrible
more
pick
cap
for
space.
Yeah.
So they have more cap space. You know what I mean? Going down the road, I don't know. They might do something like that. But what I'm saying is that there are a number of people who need to be resigned. Now you might say, well, Zimenez. But if he's played well all season long, you say, okay, I might bring him back as a rotational piece. I don't know. So there's so many other people that have to be, negotiated with. So, and it's not that money. That $50 million can go so fast.
Oh yeah, oh definitely. I have a big question. Is it a Sauvignon?
No, this is a Concord. It's
okay. I was just checking.
Yeah, you can pick this up down Peddler's Village. We'll go down and make a day of it.
We are. You know what? I actually talked to the wife about that.
We'll go down and make a day of it. You let me know. We'll take the wives down.
She was like, he knows where Peddler's Village is. I said yes.
Yes.
so we're gonna have to make a trip there and do that. James, you've been quiet. Hold on. What do you got to say, T. Brad?
We went to
Bowman's
Bowman's Tavern down there.
Yeah,
they had karaoke Friday. My wife went down there and sung too. Good food, good spot, right around the corner from Peddler's.
Oh, I didn't know that. I know. We're definitely gonna have that. James, you're looking quiet. You're looking pensive. You're just sitting there like you have something to say.
No, I was just enjoying listening. The only thing I wanted to say real quick to Brother T-Bad, my Michigan brother over there, and I say that affectionately because he knows what I mean. But I watch college football, so the only thing I want to say is Miami quarterback, they're like Ohio State quarterback. They look great in school. They don't look that great when they get to the pros. So we be
I know it. I know, but I'm just talking about
what are you talking about? Gino Torretta, Steve Walsh.
What are you talking about?
Big names here. Big names.
I'll take Van Dyke over.
It's a little more recent though. It hasn't been that great. Ken Dorsey.
Oh, Ken Dorsey. That's not recent.
More than whatchamacallit? Who did this thing? Come on, man.
Well, Ohio State to put out some Mikey Turkey necks out there too.
They ain't even.
They got a list of Mikey Turkey necks.
They like that's one position.
Hopefully, CJ Stroud to break the curse.
Well, isn't Jalen Hurts breaking the curse?
No, he's from Oklahoma.
Hurts didn't go to
Oklahoma. Oklahoma. Tim Tebow.
Tebow, Florida.
Tim Tebow's Florida.
Yeah. Best quarterback from Ohio State might be Hoying. And I'm not even joking.
Bobby Hoying?
Bobby Hoying.
No, if he's being real, like you gotta think about it. He's probably right. Like I'm thinking real quick.
I was saying, you're an Ohio State fan. You let me know one of them that made it to the 53-man roster.
Ohio State quarterback that actually did something. Art Schlichter.
Oh God,
he went to prison. Isn't that doing something?
Yeah, that's a bad. Yeah, that's a rough one. They got some great college quarterbacks, but they get in the NFL. It's like, oh, okay, everybody's fast.
Yeah, no,
Are you saying you don't like Kyler?
Mike Tomczak was from Todd. Todd Taylor also is sitting here saying that we're looking at Jim Kelly and Vinny Testaverde as the last good Miami quarterbacks.
Oh, all right. I forgot about. All right, yeah. All right, sorry, I forgot about those two.
Yeah, it's like Miami at least has a nice little resume there.
All right. Sorry. I'll keep my Buckeye mouth shut. Sorry.
Oh,
Michigan knows how to put out a quarterback.
This is a good one too. Burroughs was originally at OSU.
We can't. Yeah, but he got beat out. He wasn't known until he got. He wasn't known until he got to LSU.
Wasn't Troy Aikman also at OSU before he went to UCLA?
Who?
Troy Aikman, I believe.
I didn't know that.
I believe he was at OSU before he transferred to UCLA.
But did he actually play? I don't think. Was he just on the team? I don't think.
I don't remember. I'm not a Troy Aikman fan.
It just shows how it just shows that Burrow and Troy were very smart. They left.
Yeah, they moved on. Oh, Mark's coming to.
Whoa, hold
Coming in
on.
hot.
Burrow got beat out by Fields in college. Let's just get that straight. In college, he got beat out. That's why he had to get up out of here. Fields did his thing at Ohio State. Just talking about college. And Burrow went on to do his thing at LSU and have a great career there, like T. Brad just said. But he got beat out here.
Hold on, T. Brad's having a coughing attack.
Well,
we got to make sure T. Brad's okay.
I'm good.
All right.
He got beaten up. Maybe the coaches at OSU are looking for the wrong thing.
Well, that's the way you got to look at it. All right, we're gonna get ready to close this out because I got to make a phone call. So I'm going to give everyone, as always, the final thought. We're going to start with Mark. What's your final thought here? Because you're frozen.
Yes, I am frozen. I'm not sure what's going. I don't know why I'm frozen.
What is your final thought of this wonderful season? And Aikman was at Oklahoma.
Yeah, it's a surprising season so far. But when you really look at how I like how they've structured what they've structured, and the weakest areas to me seem to be the inside linebacker area and the wide receivers. Those are the most obvious weakest areas, right? Some people might want to say QB as well, but I think those two. But I'm waiting to see what's going to happen when we encounter some adversity, meaning something is going to happen. I mean, okay, people might say we have done that before, but everything is rosy now. What's going to happen when we lose a couple of games that we think we may have won or should have won? I'm waiting to see when that happens. If that doesn't happen, that's wonderful. But let's see what happens then.
I agree. I said the same thing. J-Ham is out. Peace, my brother. But I agree. I said the same thing. I said, let's see what happens when this team runs up against the wall a little bit, gets a little adversity, and see if how they come out at the other end. Mark, I want to thank you for coming on. I'm going to jump over to T-Brad. Always with the oh, she's like, shit, I was making my fucking drink.
I was going, no, this is just regular orange juice. Nothing but orange.
Yeah. The Belvedere didn't go in it. I said the Belvedere is already in the orange juice.
Nope, regular orange juice. So
we'll wait till you're done.
First thing I wanted to say about college and people getting beat out, just remember, like, Thurman Thomas used to start over Barry Sanders at Oklahoma State.
You're right.
Think about that. So it's just what works at that level with that. That's what that is. So I get it, but that's what that is sometimes. But also heard that Burrows wanted to be an NFL quarterback. That's why he went to LSU. But for me, the team, I'm really enjoy. It feels good to be a winner.
It does.
It feels good to be talking about NFL at this point and actually talk about the future of your team. I'm used to at this time deep diving into the draft and talking about who should be getting fired and what dumbass moves were made. So far, the coaching staff is coming up roses.
Yeah.
We got the coach of the year right now. Coach of the year. I don't care if the Eagles go undefeated. We got the coach of the year. Given the talent. So I'm just enjoying the ride. I am not hoping that we fall off. And looking at the schedule, it looks like we're going to get in this playoffs. Like, we really have to we got Detroit there. We got Washington twice. We got Houston there. And nothing's a gimme. But these are games that I'm willing to bet we will be favored when the time of the game.
I'll give you an out for the bet. I'm going to give you an out. Do you think the Giants will beat Jacksonville?
Yes.
Bet your dreads.
No, I would never bet my dreads on something or one hitter quitter, because
I'm giving you a one hit out.
Mike Tyson, anything can happen.
I'm giving you an out right there.
No,
you tell Evan Ingram have a career day.
Oh,
I could be safe. I could be safe, but I could lose immediately. No, thank you. No, thank you.
Cut half your dreads.
I've done that before. I've cut my dreads in half like at least 4 times.
Okay, let's make the bet.
No. I'm saving the half cut for when we make the playoffs.
No. That's not a half cut.
We'll have to
the
we have
playoffs
to
is a full
rewind that.
cut.
We'll have to rewind that and see if I said a cut.
You are your hair is going to look like mine.
I doubt it can do that. I would need some conky lean for that. I have to go get the mixture and lay it down to the side and all that. I might as well go bald.
That's funny. That was a good one.
That was good. But wait.
Hey Tim, real quick, do you know what movie line I'm mentioning when I say "So saith the shepherd, so saith the flock"?
No, I don't.
That's from Porky's. I think Porky's too.
Porky's. Oh my God, Porky's too. I have not. Oh, you know what? I do remember that now.
Yeah,
that is from Porky's too.
So saith the shepherd, so saith the flock.
Yeah,
that is hilarious.
Oh my God, I haven't seen Porky's too, and
it's rare. It's rare I get a movie line by you.
That's true. That's a good one, man. Because man, I haven't seen Porky's. I don't know.
That was the closest to porn I could get as a kid.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was gonna say. It was in the early 80s. That's the last time I watched it because I can go on. You can go online now and watch porn. You don't have to go. You don't have to go and watch Porky's.
Easy. It's too easy. I'm so glad I wasn't born in this generation. I'll never leave the bathroom.
These kids, they'll never know about cinematic. They'll never know about stuff like that.
No, they know their songs are more racy than what we watched. Just the songs.
Yeah. No, yeah. There goes the Belvedere.
Videos too.
So what is the T-Brad final thought of the evening?
Just let's enjoy the ride long as it goes, and I'm looking towards the future and getting some good wide out. You know what? F all that. F all this positive stuff. We're feeling good. What the F is up with Kadarius Toney? That's my final thought.
Nobody knows.
All that. You ain't that hurt, bro.
But now he hurt his other hamstring.
Listen, man.
Rehabbing his other
hamstring. He need hamstring. He need hamstring restructure or something, man. Listen, man. But you know what? To spring that on a positive note, this is going to be my real final thought.
Okay.
Real thing. I'm positive because we've been doing so much with so many names out. And that's why Kadarius Toney popped in my head. We got Kadarius Toney out. We got Azeez Ojulari out. People that we thought were going to be helping us have been hurt. And other people have been stepping up. So that can only be a good thing for when these people come back and we can start. Now we have a lot of depth. So I'm just hoping we get more people on the field and less people on the injury list.
I like it. And that's the T-Brad thought.
Exactly.
T-Brad, I appreciate you dropping by.
Take care. So saith the shepherd. So saith the flock.
He drops a Porky's 2 reference. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if you could beat that one. And, now I have to think one for T-Brad though. Oh, I can't think of.
You're gonna have to think on that. You're not gonna be able to pull something.
Yeah, and let me know when that movie line group is at, man. I want to get in. I want in. If a dime bag is sold on the street, I want in.
What is a good?
And
James,
that was a movie line, by the way, too.
James? Do you have a quote? Do you have a movie quote to stump the T-Brad?
Oh no! Right now, off the top, for Porky's 2 to try to even contend with that, I'm not even gonna try to embarrass. That was a classic.
I mean, that was. I was
trying to think of something from Police Academy, but I can't even pull something right now.
Yeah, hey man, take your time, man. Take your time. I'm not saying I'm a knower of all lines, but if it's a good movie and I've watched 1,000 times, Do the Right Thing. You'll never get a Do the Right Thing reference by me.
Oh no, you dropped a Porky's reference, man.
Ever. You'll never get a Do the Right Thing. The movie Boomer. There's certain movies that I've watched thousands of times. 48 Hours. You'll never get, not 48 Hours. Trading Places. You'll never get Trading Places line on me. Never.
I have legs.
It's impossible.
Oh, you know what? I got one. It's 80s porn. I mean 80s movies porn, but not porn.
Oh Are we going Ron Jeremy or Vanessa Del Rio?
No. We're not going that porn. We're going kid porn. that would be considered as a young adult. I'm not complaining, but I usually don't like my filth this clean. And it's a famous actor, like one of the most famous actors.
Say that one again.
No, you only get it once. I'm not complaining, but I usually don't like my filth this clean.
That sounds like something Bill Murray would say.
No, more famous than Bill Murray. Academy Award winning actor.
I say more
No,
famous.
I've probably not seen this, so I'll quit now.
You've seen it. It's Bachelor Party with Tom Hanks.
I've actually never seen Bachelor.
You've never seen Bachelor Party with Tom Hanks?
Never.
Oh, that's your. Stop
And I've
watching,
heard it was funny. I've just
stop
never
watching
seen it.
Celtic Pride and go watch Bachelor with Tawny Katane.
Hey,
and
I'll
Adrian
do
Zmed.
it. That's what we need to
It's a
do.
dope
We need to
movie.
get a page for movie lines and going through movies and having fun with them. That's what we need to do.
I'm down for that.
Put it together. You know what? Maybe I'll start my own page, movie lines and ish.
You know
Find
what?
out how to do it.
I'll be the
idea.
first one to join. James will be the second one.
Yeah. Have some
Yeah.
fun with some movies. That sounds good to me.
But you have to go watch. Now you have to go watch Bachelor Party.
Yeah, I'll pull that one up.
I mean, because that is kids 80s. You know.
Yeah, I remember everybody
goes in the
talking about
spank
it, but
bank.
never watched it. But I'll definitely watch it.
All right, T-Rat. I'm going to drop you off for a second. I'm going to say goodnight to James as well. I appreciate you stopping in as always. It's always a good time when T-Rat's in the house.
Peace,
Yes, sir.
Peace, my friend.
Peace.
James. And then there was two. And I always leave your final thought for the last because it's usually batting down the hatches.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna say. I mean, I'm gonna be nice, but I'm not gonna just pour sprinkles on everything. We're 5-1. I don't have to be positive. We're 5-1. We're one of the best teams in the league. One of the best teams in the NFC. We're on the way to the playoffs. I don't have to feel positive. All I wanted to say real quick is thank you for giving me the last word. First off, salute to everybody in the chat that's still here. Hit that like button if you haven't for our brother. But I just want to say, enjoy the ride. You know, we're 5-1. You know, have fun, but don't get upset at people like Brother Tim, our cult leader extraordinaire, or anybody in the street if they just say something that, you know, like, hey, we're 5-1, we're great, but, you know, we're winning ugly. Right. Or we're winning every game by one possession. Or we're winning every game, but we have to come back. Or we're winning every game, and it's not because of the quarterback. Like, you can feel how you want to feel, but if somebody just points that out, because, again, we are looking towards the future. You know, it's not just about this year. I mean, listen, if we make a super run and get to the Super Bowl, that would be amazing. You know, hey, I'm a Giants fan. Look at my hat. I had this hat for like 15 years. But just don't get upset for people like, especially like Brother Tim, who takes his time to do this, just for pointing out stuff, or other people out here who take their time to do this. Like, and if you can't see what he's saying, that's cool. But I'm gonna tell you right now, and this is my parting thought: a quarterback that can't pass for over 200 yards a game in today's NFL, that's not a guy you want to be giving money to. And that's my parting thought.
That's a great parting thought. That is a good parting thought. And again, this is Tim. This is James. It's Online Big Blue. You know what? The Giants are in the Jaguars next, this Sunday, 2.5-point underdogs. We have to wait and see what happens. You know what? You got to worry about Evan Ingram.
We don't know how to cover the tight end, Evan Ingram. That's all I'm going to say. The Pro Bowler. The
Two-time Pro Bowler. Evan Ingram. Two-time Pro Bowler, James. Get it right. All right, guys. You know, we're gonna check out of here. It's 8:49. I got a phone call I gotta make, and I got my ribs still in the smoker. So, they take 7-8 hours, man. They gotta fall off the bone. You gotta do these things. But you know what, James? We're gonna close it out because it's been fun. It's been exciting. It's been as good as always. This is Tim. This is James. This is Online Big Blue, bringing you the best of New York Giants sports talk and entertainment. Thanks for hanging in, and we are out of here.
First.